Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by saying Barakatah, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah, HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great most known that rule well. Salutations to the sincere Akiam, pushing this truth in all due diligence and sincerity, man. Spiritual, I got the blood brothers and t-shirt on today. Hey, but, even deeper than that, we're spiritual brethren, man. The hopeful elect of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah, HaKadash, man. Hey, yo, listen. We have beautiful things coming, man. Real beautiful things. 144,000 of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, the upcoming governing body of the nation of Israel, and then the 1/3 that are gonna accompany us, man. The friends, the true friends, family of the elect, man, and spouses. Hey, we have a beautiful inheritance to come, but tribulations and trials to overcome. The time of Jacob's trouble is nigh at hand. In the scriptures in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, it explicitly says, if thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure. So the hell's a rite of passage. Don't get weary, brothers. Yeah? As we get closer towards the end of this thing, Satan is going to crank the heat up. But as Satan turns the knob up, we're supposed to then blow that, blow back on him with that aircon, man, and turn our knob up higher. Yeah, the righteous always overweighs the wicked, man. The right hand is stronger than the left, and that's just the way that Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai is set up, man. We are always going to overcome as long as we are members of the elect. The main thing is hope, doing the work of the Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai right until the very end, man. And if we be off that elect number, that's gonna be the case anyway. But regardless, there's an elect written off that are going to follow Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai's word right onto what's the word I'm looking for? Really onto the end, man. I was gonna say onto the moment of decision, but really, yeah, onto the end. And that the elect ain't gonna be moved. We just gotta hope that our lot is within that number, man, because we've been called, but we're giving diligence to make our call into election sure, man, to make sure that we've been chosen. Now, I was going back and forth in a chat with brothers, just reasoning on an individual here in the UK by the name of Gary Stevenson, because he is basically an economist, right? Used to work for Citibank as a trader, left there, started making YouTube videos, and then all of a sudden he's just super viral. Now, you can't take anything on face value. Brothers have been reasoning, and I agree that I believe this guy is another agent, because what it is they've taxed the poor and the middle class to oblivion, right? Even the government has leveraged a lot of its assets and given them out to the rich. And when I say the rich, I'm talking about millionaire status. I'm talking about like multi-millionaire, 10 million plus in terms of evaluations inclusive of assets, or in some cases 100 mil plus. Now, of course, you got the ultra elite, yeah, the ultra rich. You're talking the elite banking families. You're talking like them and their subsidiaries. But then you also have rich Edomites that are, maybe 50 mil up or 10 mil up. Might own a couple of companies. Might have a business that technically is worth 10 mil, but they might not be liquid in it. Guess what? Those fuckers are gonna get it too, man. In the scriptures, in the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, it says, "Small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, yes, are all going to be forced to receive that mark." Now, I can't tell you exactly how Esau Edom is going to do it, but right now there's a lot of talk in the ether about a wealth tax. Wealth taxes essentially have never really worked, because in this society, in this dishonest society, with all of the bylaws that are set up, it's easy for the elite to ultimately hide their riches through smart accounting, or ultimately by not declaring assets ultimately in their own names. They might put them in the name of family relatives, they might put them in trusts, might put them in the names of their spouses, and so ultimately they will try and declare that those assets, whether they be expensive homes, cars, businesses, aren't theirs. even though they're profiteering from them, or they'll put them in trust in the name of their children, etc. The super rich have their ways of dealing with things. So every country that's ultimately ever tried to implement a wealth tax has just pretty much knocked it on the head and just let it go, because it's difficult to validate the wealth of an individual item. Like, you could take a piece of art, right, and it's subjective. One evaluation might say it's worth 10 million, another might say it's worth 25. It's down to ultimately a subjective point of view, and even to then have enough resources to evaluate all of these assets of the rich and then put a tax on them from a consistency point of view. Homeland Revenue and Customs, sorry, His Majesty's, I should say, Revenue and Customs are going to have to basically hire out entire new divisions of staff, which is going to put extra strain on the taxes of the people they're already taking taxes from. So this whole wealth tax is not really going to work long term. But what they're doing indirectly, pushing this narrative, is they're cracking down on even the rich, man, that are not a part of that elite bourgeoisie club, man. Again, to the point, Revelations 13-16, and he calls it all both small and great, meaning literally just your bum on the street, all the way down to your regular Joe Schmo, all the way up to a rich Edomite that's technically very well to do, that might, own 2-3 houses and have a holiday home and the rest of it, all the way down into rich and poor, free and bond, like a inmate, all the way through to a wealthy individual that's not essentially a part of the elite club but still very well to do, taking 3-4 holidays, has a villa in Spain. They're trying to ultimately bring everyone under this new world order system, and that is not of that elite faculty, man. And there's going to be a lot of resistance. Every country that has ever implemented a wealth tax had it fail. But this Gary Stevenson guy, again, is coming through as pretty much being one of the people. Like, he's pushing that narrative of, he's just a local East End boy. He's somehow just magically appearing on LBC and getting interviews with the BBC, and I think even maybe Channel 4, and his YouTube channel has gone viral and the algorithm's always supporting him. Esau Edom is in control of the earth, man. As it is written in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. Gary Stevenson would not be going viral if the elites did not want him going viral, man. They'll be manipulating with brothers' views and channels. Listen, the YouTube algorithm is controlled, man. Ultimately speaking, if they don't want you getting seen, you are not getting seen. It doesn't matter what you do, how popular your message is. There's numerous other people that are out there pushing this wealth tax, yeah, and then agenda, and they're nowhere near as popular as Gary Stevenson. Why? Because ultimately, he's the He's the shill being used by the elites to bring in that NWO, and that's whether he genuinely knows it or even if he's unaware of the fact that he's being used, man. Because that wealth tax ultimately, like I'm saying, is going to be used as a way of bringing in even the rich into that MOTB system, because they're going to come for them, man, and tax them for their quote-unquote fair share. Because don't get it twisted, a lot of the rich have been living very splendidly, man, at the expense of the common person, man, of the common man and woman. They've been living very splendid, but a lot of the time they don't actually have the physical cash and assets, man, in order to pay the cash that's required of them. And 2% when you're earning 10 million is a lot of it's a lot of money, man. I'm not gonna do the maths off head, but it's a lot of money. 2% of 10 million, look it up, man, or do the maths via a calculator. It's when you get a second, it's a lot of money, man. It's a whole load of money. And ultimately, they're gonna get a couple billions off that if they do it as a stealth wealth tax, or even if they plan it and they give the rich a bit of time to navigate and restructure their assets. They're gonna get a couple billions off it, but it's ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, couple billion, like 5-6 billion might sound like a lot of money, but in comparison to the trillions that are spent on the UK economy yearly, Come on, bruv. It's not lasting more than a couple of days worth of expenditure. And so what they're going to have to inevitably do is bring down the threshold. Currently, they're saying the wealth tax is going to be at 10 million if they implement it, 10 billion and above for assets, and they're going to take a 2% cut. When they realize quickly, or really they'd been knowing, but when they push out the fact that they actually can't collect as much tax revenue as they want on that system, that threshold might then drop to 5 mil and then 1 mil eventually, to the point where it's 500,000. Then if you're a well-to-do individual, not technically cash rich, but have a very big house that you own somewhere, or your parents pass down something onto you, and then you have equity in the house, you have a decent job and a vehicle, technically on paper you might be worth £500,000 in assets. Pay the government their 2%, man. You might not have 2% in terms of, you know, that equivalent of cash to pay, but guess what, you're gonna have to sell something in order to make it, or give up a larger chunk of your salary, man. This I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna implement this wealth tax, but I'm speaking objectively. It's gonna be messy, man. It's gonna be real messy, and it's gonna cause a lot of tension. It's gonna cause a lot of uproar, especially with the well-to-do, man. That even though they're not elite, at least due to the fact that they have money, man, and money talks in this world, a bit of influence, man. Shit is gonna go all the way left. You're gonna see even on Esau's end a lot of infighting, but ultimately, man, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. This video was to emphasize, hey, if they do really push through with these wealth taxes, man, understand that it's ultimately a way to bring in everybody into the subjection of the MOTB system, man. Because this man has an agenda. Regardless of whether you are a broke individual with not much to lose in his society, all the way through to if you're currently doing well on the FRN fiat-based system, if you're Floyd Mayweather even, or Jay-Z, or one of these other well-to-do niggas, you're gonna have to take the chip in order to exist, man. There's gonna come a point in time where your FRNs are not gonna be any use to you anymore, man. And you're gonna have to literally either trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai or get down with this man and his system, man. And this wealth tax is another progressive step towards that, because they don't want, you know, the slogan of the NWO is literally, you will own nothing and be happy, man. You know, they're coming for the rich also, man. Because I'm telling you, these elite devils, man, these elite Edomite devils will take out their own in order to get their NWO set up, man. They will listen, they will take out other Edomites in order to get their new world order established, man. It's pure evil you're dealing with, especially when you're dealing with the chief of the house of Esau, Amalek on down, that whole Zionist movement, man. Yeah, understand what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a devil that will literally, man, shake your hand and then stab you in the back as soon as he has an opportunity, man. That's why in the book of Sirach 12 and 10 it tells us to never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. The tax system has never been developed to help or benefit the poor, man. Ever. And ultimately, it's been there, yeah, to benefit the governments. And then ultimately the governments are also broke because they're paying out massive amounts of debt and money to not just the elites but the rich, man, of this world, and you know, people that will fund MPs, political races, and friends friends of the party and all the rest of it, MPs, you know, all of these individuals, yeah, are very well to do in this society. But we're entering a phase where the Lord Yahweh is accelerating things, man. The Esau Edom, his cherub on the left hand side, man, the chief of them are getting ready to bring everyone into forced subjection. And the only way out of this is if you have Yahweh on your side. But if you're an Edomite out here and you ain't pretty much out here winning, man, you're a two-time loser. Things are gonna get extremely bad for you, man. Extremely bad, and it's gonna be real tough, man, in the times to come. This whole welfare state might have to go. The welfare state is funded by the government. It's government funded. The governments of all these major nations are going broke because they're in serious debt to the elites of these different nations. If there's no more welfare, or if they tell you in order to continue to feed your baby, or you single, I'm not even gonna call you Israelite women, you black, Latino and native women out there, if they tell you in order to feed your little rugrats, you got to take that chip, a lot of you are going to be running to them chipping stations, man, and are going to get destroyed, because rather than just settling down and dealing with a man of the Lord and being humble, a lot of you have chosen to go out there, become single baby mums, literally lost your way, fallen off. The black woman, the Latino woman, and the Native American woman, man, are fucking gone, man. The Lord Yahweh is about to bring great judgment upon the face of the planet Earth, man. And a lot of our people are going to get caught up in it. A whole lot of them. But fuck them. Because at the end of the day, man, they brought this judgment upon themselves, man. May the Lord Yahweh bring a speedy riddance upon this kingdom. May the Lord Yahweh Barakatham bless the Akim. And Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai Bashmi Kakadash Babakasha Abad Babal Abad Adawam Abad the 2/3 of Israel. Shalom. Kwam Yashallah. Shalom to the elect.